Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from SethMarkwood.com.
Together, the three of us, we are Markwood Men's Breakfast Club. Welcome back once again, and good morning, boy.
Good morning, Homer.
So, we've already started smoking. This is, again, one of the leftovers from Tobacco Advent 2018. What are we smoking here?
This is Peterson's Nutty Cut from PoBoy Jelly.
Okay.
So, we still have probably 6 or 7 more tobaccos from that.
Wow.
So we'll be smoking on leftover Tobacco Advent stuff for quite a while.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
So this is very much a Virginia, lots of Virginia. I mean, I think there is Little Burley and Cavendish, but it's like Virginia. We opened it up thinking this would be an aromatic. Since we're recording a couple videos tonight, we thought we'd start with something mild and work our way to whatever's stronger.
Yeah, because there's some strong stuff coming up.
It's got enough burley in there, though.
Yeah, we opened it up and we're surprised. We're like, huh, doesn't really smell of anything.
Well, with the name Nutty in it, it's supposed to have some macadamia overtones, and I'm not getting those yet.
You got your macadamia overtones right here, if you know what I mean.
Nope.
So this is the first time we've recorded in about a month. Lots of fun things have been going on, and tonight, as per usual, this morning, as per usual, we'll be recording the next few weeks because, as happens this time of year, we're traveling. He was, well, where have you been since we recorded last?
Well, I've been in Vegas, and I just got back from Houston, and leave in 2 days for Cincinnati and Dayton, and then back to Houston, and then I don't know, all over. But you're going someplace exciting. Where are you going?
Well, I am, but I've also been traveling recently. I went to where the heck did I go? Scottsdale, Arizona. That was neat, man.
You're getting my disease now.
I am.
I mean, it's so weird when you travel as much as we now do.
Yeah.
You know, you roll over in the Hampton Inn and you have to look at the address on the little phone to see where am I exactly, because they all look and smell the same.
They do. They do.
It's weird.
Especially a lot of the shows that we do, the show happens in the hotel, and so they end up being golf resorts. Every single one of those. Every Marriott, Hilton, you know, if it's got a golf course and it's a resort, it is exactly the same from the moment you walk in. Maybe there's a cowboy boot in one and a flower and like a Hawaiian picture in another, but everything else from the check-in process on is exactly the same. It's weird.
And they had the decal on the back of the elevator door, right? So it's you know, the one with the hot sauce, or it's one with the dog with the sunglasses, or something as opposed to make your day bright when you get there. You know.
That's right.
Just confusing.
Yeah. So, but my travel really hasn't gotten crazy yet. In fact, the day this episode airs, I will be in Ireland. So this will be my first international business trip, my first trip outside of the U.S., except for when I went to Niagara, which barely counts. Barely counts. And so I will be spending 10 days with 3 of my coworkers. We'll be going to Ireland. We're going to Dublin, to Belfast, which is Northern Ireland, not Republic of Ireland. Belfast, to Birmingham, which is in the UK, and then I'll be speaking at a British water conference at Cranfield University, which apparently right across the street is where Alan Turing invented the first computer, one of the precursors of the modern computer.
Huh.
And then
be sure to mention Brexit every time you can.
Yeah. So yeah.
But you want to do it like that. You want to make it like a Freudian slip. So I was at the Brexit bar this morning at the hotel. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. I'm sure that will go over really well. Then we'll be spending a few days in London. So I mentioned I'll be giving a presentation, and it's on grease traps, and the UK right now is dealing with a lot of grease in the sewer lines because they don't have many grease traps. And my coworker recommended titling the name of my presentation, what do you call it? A revolutionary approach to declaring independence on Greece. So So I'm actually legitimately giving the North American position, coming in and presenting for 15 minutes on what our approach has been to this problem in North America, because we're further along in the solution than they are.
That's good. So you don't have to be knowledgeable about their situation. I mean, they've got some ancient plumbing over there that they've got to contend with.
They do, and they've got population density like crazy. You know, London in particular has.
How many of those are you going to drop tonight?
Of people. That was only my first. I think you dropped the first one, so we're down to 2.
Well, it was yours, so I dropped your
okay,
first
thank
one.
you. They've got really old infrastructure, and the biggest the biggest difference in how they are governed there, differently from the U.S., is that in the U.S., everything is prescriptive on a governmental level when it comes to grease control. So your local city, their sewer department has within it a department that's only worried about making sure restaurants have a grease interceptor. And so every restaurant that you eat in, I almost can guarantee has a grease interceptor because it's law. That's not the case in the UK. Not only is there not really a high-level law requiring these things, but once you get down onto the more local level, everything is done by independent companies. So their sewers are not government-run; they are privatized, and the private companies lease out the sewer lines from the government. And so it's almost like...
Why would someone want to lease a sewer from the government?
Well, if that's your business, that's the business you're in. So it's almost
Wait.
Sure.
How am I in the sewage business? So I'm leasing it and then I'm charging back for the disposal of something, or the cleaning, or maintenance, or what?
So you're probably charging for water, and then, yeah, for sewage. So, I mean, your tax dollars, and also the water and sewer companies, you pay a bill to use the sewer system if you're on a city sewer.
Okay.
And so instead of paying it to the city, you would pay it to XYZ sewer company. So think about it. The closest analog I can think of is with our cable companies, right? So you might have Time Warner Cable or North State or Comcast or DirecTV. Most of those are using the same wires,
right,
the same infrastructure that's been set up by the government, but
or co-op, or
exactly right. But the actual connection and the person that you're paying depends on the company.
Okay, yeah.
And so it's this weird situation where if company A decides, hey, we're going to start enforcing that you have to spend $5,000 to install a grease trap to protect the sewers, and company B says, oh yeah, you don't have to pay that if you use us, then people can just jump. They can just switch companies. And so it's just like getting the, we'll give you the 1-year signing bonus by switching to Comcast. And so they're in this weird place where they recognize the need to do something, but they don't feel like they have any sort of legislative or really even business recourse to force a change. And so it's going to be interesting to learn more about that.
Will you learn more?
I will. Yeah. So the reason this is a 10-day trip and have 4 people from our company is that I got invited. I sent a proposal to speak at this conference. I will be speaking at the conference. That was a trigger for us to invest multiple people to come over because we have a vested interest in growing this market for us. The U.S. market is... In the U.S. market, our go-to-market strategy is to convince cities who already have approved a certain type of grease interceptor to approve our type of grease interceptor because it's different and it's better. So that's but ultimately a restaurant is required to install something, right? So we just want them to install our something versus the something that they would otherwise be installing. As this market is kind of in its infancy, we really want to be a part of that conversation.
Sure.
We really want to help influence the decisions that they make so that maybe when they do decide to kind of enact something, we can be on the front end of that. And so there's a huge opportunity. We're working with several companies, several distribution partners that we've already had in Ireland. It's one of the reasons why we're going to Ireland. We have a partner there that's been selling our product for 25 years in Ireland. Ireland is well advanced. We have a new partner in Ireland, so we're making a really big trip of it. So there's going to be a lot of meetings, a lot of stuff, but we're trying to learn as much about the market because we want to sell more products. We also want to help our partners sell more products, and we, as the manufacturers, we do a lot by way of marketing. And so if we can help our distributor in Ireland tell a better story in the UK market, then their chances of success increase, which means our chances of success increase. So it's going to be a big trip. And then for the episodes we're filming, there's a chance after I come home, less than a week later, or just a week later, I will be going back to Ireland for 4 days. There's a chance. It's not in stone yet.
Wow. There's
a chance. And then immediately after that, I will be in San Antonio for 5 days.
Wow.
A lot of travel. You're traveling too, right? But you've mentioned that.
Yeah. So I'll be heading on to, let's see, after Houston. New Orleans.
Nice. Never been there.
I was there exactly 1 year after Katrina, and so it'll be interesting to see how that has changed.
Was that last time you were there?
Yeah, that was the last time I was there. I've been there twice now. I was there prior to Katrina. I was there a year after Katrina, and then this will be the third time, I guess. Gosh, there's some other place that I'm going. It's just, it all starts blurring together. Oh, I'm going back to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Okay.
So it's all part of the magic.
So we've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
So I got to tell you, stink bug came into our bedroom this morning, woke me up. That's our 4-year-old granddaughter, who came in to tell us this is the last morning that we were going to see her as a 4-year-old.
Oh yeah.
She'd been thinking about this. Tomorrow she turns 5, and how exciting that was for her. And she, and I don't think any of them are into this I'm 4.5 thing.
Right.
So she knows that she's 4 today.
5
tomorrow she's 5, which is crazy. Then of course I had to tell her that I've turned 5 11 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird. You bring up an interesting point. It is a bit odd that we celebrate birthdays like that. You know, that we make a hard line distinction between age 1 and age 2, and even as adults.
Yeah. So what else we want to talk about?
Well, you had a YABO, I think.
Oh, I got me a YABO.
Great.
I got me a YABO. I got me a YABO. Hey. It's a weird YABO, by the way. What?
While you're pulling that out, I think it's worth noting our lighting situation. Our lighting situation has changed dramatically over the course of the 6 years we've been doing this. We got some big long tube lights, and around the time we got those, we got some LEDs, and around the time we got those, our overhead lights went out, and they are sporadic at best.
And the overhead lights, that one right there is probably original to the building, so
right.
Probably sometime in the 40s.
And the last time that we filmed, if you are like me and have been paying any attention over the last few episodes, you will notice that for some reason, all of the lights were on in a weird way, and so we were very blown out. There was just too much lighting. And so what did we do? Well, we added more lights to our situation. They are not at all strategic, just kind of lying
Not
about.
installed yet. They're just laying on the bench over here, shining on the ceiling.
Just kind of strewn about. So if our lighting looks terrible,
but
that's why.
Hey, why don't we show these? I mean, take the very far one there.
Sure.
Check these out. These are from Menards, and
this is gonna be.
A few weeks ago, when I was in Ohio last, they had these lights for sale, and go ahead and just
I know, but I got to get to the other end of it to do that.
Okay, here. All right, so
here it is lit. Doesn't that look great?
4-foot LED, and they're
Super
very lightweight.
Wow.
So it's got a simple reflector on it. It does have a on-off cord, And each one of them came with their own power cord. They came as a pair. And additionally, they came with 2 pigtails. So you can either have each individual one plugged into the wall, or you can have them connected, up to 6 of them plugged in together. I have 4 of them plugged together.
Hold on.
These were 2 for $20, which I think was half price or something like that. And knowing that we were having issues here with the old original fluorescents, I wanted to switch over to LEDs anyway.
Well, not only did we have those, we had some old LEDs standing up on a post there. We should take a picture at some point of how ridiculous our light situation is. There's a tripod light over there. We've got 2 fluorescent
4-foot fixtures
strips over here that we've had for a while.
It's just a mess, is what it is.
So anyway,
got me a YABO. So this falls into that category of, is it really a YABO? There are some that would say, since I paid for this myself, it's not a YABO. But you know what? This is a box opening. It's yet another box opening, which is what YABO stands for. Oh, we're going to use
my Chinese pocket monkey.
Faux pocket monkey.
We could use the stab.
But what I want to see on here is when this was shipped to me. October 26, 2017.
Wow.
So
use the hand stabber knife.
Oh yeah, I like that one. This has been unopened since 2017, and in fact, if you love this, I don't think you can get it.
Super useful.
I really don't think so. But
really great.
It's such an interesting tool that when it became available, I wanted to buy it. It's something that I've wanted to make for myself, and not terribly difficult to make. But a very popular YouTuber that makes some fascinating woodworking projects is a guy named Izzy Swan out of South Carolina. And Izzy created this tool and along with a buddy of his brought this thing to market. And what this thing is called is a saddle square. So what you've got, as you can see here, it's a machined aluminum part that has a 90-degree face this way, 90 degrees here, and on a spring you've got what basically amounts to a jaw, right? So you can take this, and where this comes in handy in woodworking is, let's say on this piece of wood I intend to make a joint here like a tenon. And with a tenon, basically what I would be doing here is reducing the end of this into a rectangular peg.
It's already a rectangular
peg. To go into a rectangular hole called a mortise. All right? The challenge is, if you're laying this out to use hand tools and you take a square and you mark the line here, and then you carry that line over to here, and then you carry that line over to here, and that line back around to here, oftentimes they don't match. So what Izzy did was he created this square, which will clamp onto the stock and make it perfectly aligned, at least these 3 faces, right? So this is something, like I said, that's been a do-it-yourself tool that people have made for years. I've never seen one commercially available like this. And the other face obviously is set to do miters. But
obviously? What does that mean?
Well, because it's set at a 45-degree angle, if I were to flop this over, let's say what I wanted to do was to produce a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
And I can make that line here. I have a shoulder here, a line here. So those 2 faces are parallel to one another. And maybe I'm making a tenon that has mitered cheeks on it. This would be something that maybe you're making a diagonal brace between 2 legs of some piece of furniture.
Okay.
You may need to do that. But again, lots and lots of 45s done in woodworking. Made in the USA, and cool. So that's an Izzy Swan product. They brought it to market as a limited item, and there it is. It's a saddle square.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you're into that sort of thing, I guess.
Well, you know, I used to be into this kind of thing a lot, and I don't do so much here lately, but I intend to do more woodworking.
That's neat. I was showing my brother-in-law Izzy Swan just the other day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
What were you showing?
A couple of things. I forget what brought it up. I think we were talking about lathes and he was.
Oh, this was Isaac.
Yeah,
Okay.
He does construction, and we were talking about how he is learning. He is learning the process of creating simple tools for repeatable work, and so measuring he was telling me for laying out a fence. Fence posts need to be 7 feet apart. If they're further than that, you can't put your posts. You can't connect your
can't span them
planks,
yeah.
And so. You know, he had mapped out, he'd taken all the time to do essentially an architecture drawing of what the space needed to look like, and his mentor went out there and he said, okay, take your tape measure. They took a thin piece of PVC, cut it at 7 feet, and then went and with a can of orange spray paint, spray.
So he basically made what we call a story stick. So that stick is consistently that length. You can have that thing set aside and use it anytime you need that. And the fact that it's got orange ends painted on it now, he knows which one is his 7-foot story stick.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
he called me.
Oh, did he?
He called me because he cut down a cherry tree and there was a big burl, a big old, basically cancerous growth.
Right.
Where it's very gnarly.
Yeah.
Briar pipes are made from a briar root, which is basically a big burl. And he asked if he can come to my shop and learn how to turn.
Awesome.
And if he were to save that, yeah, heck yeah, we'll play with that thing.
Now that I think about it, that's actually why we landed on Izzy, because he had been invited to someone he knew felled a tree. It's this huge tree, and they cut out, after they cut it into sections, he cut out like an 1/8 chunk, and he and his brother couldn't lift it. A section of the tree, huge.
Was it already a dead tree?
It was. I don't know. I think it might have been, but it brought about Izzy's lumber mill, portable lumber mill.
Yep.
So that got us on the path. Anyway,
he's done some amazing things.
Yeah.
I'm a member of Izzy's Tool Masters Association, which really more than anything else, it's my way of supporting Izzy. It's a yearly dues thing. Does bring some member benefits. He's got a number of sponsoring organizations and businesses that'll give you discounts if you're a member. But instead of doing Patreon or something that the Patreon's going to take a chunk of, he did the Tool Master Association. What's cool about it too is it gives us a private chat area that we have. It's a whole separate website that he's created, and yeah, kind of cool.
Neat.
Yeah. So. Anyway, I wanted to share that, and I thought, well, I need to get this thing here to the shop. It's been at my house, and drop it off here. And even though my intention is to build a shop at home, the shop at home will not need that. Right. That's what I have planned for there is a little bit different than what I do here. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's it for this. I have something else I want to share, but we'll do that maybe next
all the time. The tobacco, I thought, was pretty much what I was expecting from the smell. Was pretty even keel, good Virginia, a good. I mean, I smoked it down to just about nothing.
I wouldn't call that an aromatic.
No, it's not even close.
That's what's interesting about it. The fact that it claims to have that the nut component. I didn't get that at all. In fact, I didn't get any of the Cavendish either. It's very Virginia heavy with just a little bit of the burly bite. Not much.
Not much at all.
Yeah.
It's
made by the Scandinavian Tobacco Group, which owns Lane and others. Yeah. Check it out, I guess, if you like it. Thank you for sharing that with us, though. I enjoyed it. So.
Anything else?
Next week.
All right.
So. Make it a great week. I don't know. Do you want to ask them to comment about something?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead in the comments. This will be a conversation for next week. He's done a lot of international travel. I have done none. And so, do you have any great travel tips? Remember, I will just be a day into my trip. Yeah. And would love to hear. I will be in Ireland. Will not be in Belfast yet, so if there's anything cool in Belfast I should check out.
So next week we'll talk about that, but we're going to talk about that without the benefit of having seen your comments, but he'll be able to see your comments.
That's right. So anything in London, I'll have an extra day or two in London to hang out as well, so anything I need to see, I'd love to know. Thank you.
Make it a great week, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.